everybody come and see. I say come and hear, I don't carry and come. Better information, superb advertisement. We no get the rifle. Oh, to get update and get informed. Oh, come to Celestial half hour. Celestial.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi pátápátá ní orílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé. Mo kí yín ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́. Ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ ti ní àǹfààní láti gbọ́ mi. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó jẹ́ kí n wá sí stúdíò yìí ní òní yìí, òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú yìí bó ṣe kọ mí lóminú. Inú mi bàjẹ́, inú mi ò dùn torí wípé bí a ṣe pariwo, tí a yán, tí a ké fún èyí tí ṣe ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, ń ṣe lẹ kọ̀ fi mú ṣọ̀kan. Now, àwọn nǹkan tí kò yẹ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ tá ń pariwo kó má bàa ṣẹlẹ̀, òun ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ̀nyí. Mo pariwo nígbà kan, mo ní kí gbogbo ọba kó fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, kí bàbá wa onírìṣà kó pe gbogbo àwọn ọba pátápátá jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá kí wọ́n ṣe meeting on way forward lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá. Mo ké gbàjarè pé mo rí pé àwọn ẹni ìkà, àwọn agbébọnrìn, àwọn tí ń gbénú igbó ṣèkà fún àwọn ènìyàn. Mo sọ pé wọ́n kóra wọn jọ, wọ́n pètèpèrò láti fọ́lù ìlú. Mo ní ó ń bọ̀, àwọn láòdẹ̀dẹ̀. Unfortunately, Sunday ọmọ Adeyemo pariwo Igboho oosha. Ó ké, ẹ dè tán mọ́, ẹ lè kúrò nílùú. Òun kọ́ lẹ ti rí wọ̀nyí. Kábíyèsí nílùú Wàrà Sunday ní Ìgbónà lọ́hùn, ó mú gbẹbẹnu, ó ń pè ìjọba wo lẹ ń pè? Tinubu máa wá láti Aso Rock àbí ibi tó ti fò lọ sí UK, ibẹ̀ ló ti fẹ́ báyìí. Ẹ̀rọ Kábíyèsí how market. Oyedepo, mo ké sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èyí ṣe jíò, ẹ̀yin olórí ẹ̀sìn, tọ́lọ́run rán mi sí yín, ẹ fi mọ̀ ṣọ̀kan pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, kẹ́ ẹ lè kí orílẹ̀-èdè lè ní ìsinmi, kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lè ní ìsinmi. Ẹ dákẹ́ ẹ sọ nǹkan kan torí pé ẹ̀yin náà ń wòye, ẹ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kíjọba má bàa rí sí yín. Gbogbo ẹ̀ wá ń wojú, òun wo mú lé yín lórí lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ti dé lóyìn, Baba Oyedepo, how market? Wọ́n lọ lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá, wọ́n gbé jagun, wọ́n pa níbẹ̀. Olórí jagunjagun tó ń ṣọ́ ààfin, tó ń ṣọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀, pẹ̀lú ìlàkàkà ọmọkùnrin yẹn, ìsásọ́túnsásọ́sí ẹ̀, àwọn bòròró débẹ̀, wọ́n adopt ẹ̀, wọ́n lò pa. Wọ́n tún gbé ìyá lọ́jà, ìyẹn ló wá dùn kábíyèsí sí, tí kábíyèsí bẹ́ jáde. I'm sorry to say, mo fọlá fún orí adé, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ disappoint wa. Ẹ disappoint wa tó pọ̀, because tó bá pé earlier on, nígbà tí Chief Dr. Sunday ọmọ Adeyemo Igboho tó ti ké, tó jẹ́gbà ẹni gbogbo yín ti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀. Kò ń ṣe bẹ́sẹ̀ pariwo sì tẹ́ ké yẹ́nyẹ́nyẹ́, òun ẹ̀ ní kí rárá. Wọn ò ní pọmọ mọ́ yín láyà báyìí. Ẹ náà kọ lẹ́tà. Ọlọ́ọ̀bọ sì ni, bá mi gbé síta kí gbogbo ayé gbọ́n tí bàbá ń sọ. Ìgbé tí ẹ̀kọ́ ti ké sẹ́yìn, mo lẹ́sẹ̀ ké sí. Ẹlẹ́ni confidence in this very present regime.
still have our TV. Now we be the best information carrier.
Go to Oko. Once it's 6 o'clock.
Ẹ bá gbé volume ẹ̀ sókè kí àwọn èèyàn mi lè gbọ́ dáadáa. Wọ́n gbé Ìyálọ́jà lọ.
The same story. Omuaran, that one is even like
Omuaran. Ibẹ̀ yẹn gbogbo mo ti lọ fẹ́yàwó.
Appeal to government for God's sake to help us. Honestly speaking, I make bold to say that the traditional institution, we are working very hard. In fact, we task ourselves.
Bàbá ẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan. Sorry to say. Ẹ ṣe nǹkan kan. Ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń sáré. Ẹ wà àsìkò tí Sunday ṣé owó ló bèrè lọ́wọ́ yín? Ṣé Sunday Igboho ó bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Ṣé bàbá Akíntóyè ó bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Ṣé Akínkùlù fẹ́ bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Ṣé Ọmọlúkà bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Ṣé Yèyé Kowé ṣé ó bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Àbí Lady K bèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín? Ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ sophisticated ammunition ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ ní gbogbo àtìkò láti ń pariwo tàti ń ké ẹlẹ́ndúró de ìjọba. Nígbà tí Gani Adams tó kó àwọn OPC lọ bá wọn nínú agbèjò yẹn ṣèbó arrest àwọn ọmọ Gani Adams wọ́n fẹ́ ń lo almost ọdún kan lẹ́wọ̀n kí lè sọ sí ó wá dé dòmí yín sí ẹsẹ̀ wá bẹ́ síta ṣebí mo sọ fún yín bàbá ó ń bọ̀ mo láwọ̀ láńdẹ́dẹ́ kẹfọ́n formidable kíni security system ní territory yín kẹ gáìdì ìlú yín ẹlẹ́ndúró de ìjọba wọ́n ń bọ̀ ẹ máa expect wọn.
To please issue a directive for immediate dispatch of those vehicles away from the local government secretariat headquarters. Those vehicles are not doing anything there. Those motorcycles are not doing anything in the local government secretariat. Those vehicles are bought from our taxes. And those vehicles are meant to be put to use for the protection of our lives and properties. We don't pray for a repetition of the situation of what happened to Onikoro.
No, God forbid.
We don't pray for that. And I am telling you most sincerely and frankly speaking, don't let anybody deceive you. Most of the Kabiyesis in the fellow do, they live at Ilorin. Most of the Kabiyesi in the fellow do, local government, most of them cannot stay at home again.
Tani ò ní sáfẹ́ mi ẹ̀.
Most of them stays at Ilorin.
Bàbá tani ò ní sáfẹ́ mi ẹ̀.
They left home. It took us to begin to beg Olora to come home from Lagos.
Alọ́rọ̀ ò ní padà sílé torí mọ̀ pé ìbọn dédé ń lé AK-47. Ẹ fẹ́ pè wọ́n fún púpà.
These people will even have the gut to write to some of our colleagues here. We are coming so today.
Bàbá ẹ ti gba lẹ́tà. Ẹ bẹ retí ti yín náà pápá láfin.
What type of situation is this?
Lẹ́tà ń bọ̀.
This is not what we meant. So we are saddened. We are not happy. Our situation is covered by the different robes we put up.
Lánàá.
We couldn't sleep to act any longer.
Ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ ti máa mọ̀ pé ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ènìyàn ni Ọlọ́run náà ni.
No, we call an emergency meeting to come around again. In fact, we are using our resources out of nothing to make sure that things are working. Our people can no longer go to farm.
Wọ́n ta ló fẹ́ kú?
I swear by the name of God Almighty that I worship.
Fáàmù. Kábíyèsí o, how market?
Wàhálà dé nìyẹn.
Kò tí ì dé.
So ẹjọ́.
Bàbá wàhálà ò tí ì dé.
Gómìnà pé ẹ bá wa nínú ìbànújẹ́.
Abá yín sọ.
Inú wa ò dùn.
Ẹni rọ ni. Ọmọdé yẹn ló ké. Ó ké gbàjarè. Ó pariwo. Ó kó crowd jọ to convince you. You said no.
Said it times without number. The traditional institution under my domain, under our watch, we are for the government of the day 100%.
You are for the government of the day 100%. Ẹ máa mójútó. Ẹ ní láti pariwo náà. Ẹ gbé fóònù kẹ́ pé Tinubu.
All of these that I have said.
Kó command the battalions kó máa bọ̀ wá sọ́hún. Ṣebí you are for the government, Kábíyèsí. Àwọn ẹ̀rọ tí ẹ máa ń ṣe tí ẹ wo.
And there's a university there. In fact,
ẹ ṣetán láti fi ẹ̀mí àwọn
Baba
ọmọ
Dami was in the meeting
tí
and
ẹ
he
ṣe
said,
ọba lé lórí láti fi jì fún
donated
ikú
10 million naira. Was that not
òun lẹ ṣe lè pariwo
contribute to
láti
it?
bẹ̀rẹ̀ wá
We are not also
omi
sleeping.
wa ń tẹ̀yìn wọ
We are
ìgbín yín
not
lẹ́nu
also
sí
sleeping on our
ẹ wá ń
father.
pariwo
But
àwọn tó ti kú wọ̀nyẹn ń kọ́
necessary to do
ọba mẹ́ta lẹ́kìtì
more better.
wọ́n pa wọ́n dànù nípa ìpínlẹ̀ fọ́sùn
As a people,
àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ tó bẹ́ níkùn
as a people,
oríkọ tó bẹ́ níkùn tí fún ẹ jáde ajá ìjókòó tì ń bẹ̀ báyìí ó dẹ̀ ti kú.
ours is a society regulated by law.
Bàbá ẹ lọ form formidable law I mean what do you call it formidable
The driver felt the
security
windows
system.
tires rupture.
Màmá kan náà lẹ́tún ké sí ọ̀la tó sọ́pà ẹ tún wò fọ́nrán ẹ wò ó ẹ wò ó màmá yìí náà gbé wọgbó àtọmọ àtọkọ
And decided to park the
ẹ gbọ́.
car with the hope of changing the tires. It was like a film. In a GC, a
Ah,
motley crowd of armed men in military uniform came out of the bush. They
ẹ tó jorí àwọn
fired
agbómijé
at the
lójú
boot
rí
of the car.
tó bá
Ahead of
gbọ́
us, 5 of them came out of the bush.
àwọn
Another
márùn
2
jáde wá.
came from the rear. My daughter screamed, "Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" There was no time to say a word. They marched us through into the bush, firing into the sky. They hit me on my chest,
Ah,
hit my daughter on her head. Blood
abiyamọ
oozed. At this time, it was better to kill me. I shouted at one of the armed men. His response was heavy. He went straight for my private part,
ah,
tore my dress with his gun. The others ripped my dresses. I was left with my undies.
kábíyèsí
One of my daughters started crying.
ah
2 of them dug their teeth into my breasts.
president
While attending a secondary school in Adamawa, I had lived with some Fulani, so I understood a few Fulani words. I started pleading, at least for my daughter. To my shock, at gunpoint, they removed the dress of my little girl.
ah
One of them carried her on
abiyamọ
his head as a baby, on his head as my baby struggled, shouting, "Daddy, Mommy, what's going on? Help me!" I could not help myself. We marched for 9 hours. I was half naked. My daughter was totally naked.
ah
Her
Ọlọ́run
tears was like a stream of blood on
nílùú
her
tó
cheeks.
lófin ìdẹ̀lẹ́
Our
ìṣèjọba
phones had been seized.
abẹ́rẹ́
We ended up
kábíyèsí
in
wà
an
100%
ungoverned region in the thick of
pẹ̀lú
the
ìjọba.
forest. We met a well-organized group. There were some kidnapped victims. I saw 2 women, 2 ladies and 3 men. There were some people with their legs chained to trees. They were as if half dead. We were separated. I was separated from my husband. My daughter was taken away. I only heard her screaming intermittently. I did not know what they were doing to her. These men, now about 2 dozen, had a full kitchen. They had a huge camp and a traditional medical team. How can they say they don't know where these people are? How can they say that? But the camps appeared isolated from each other. We heard noises afar, indicating it might be nuclear settlements of camps. Right in my presence, I saw them pack the remains of a woman. They took her and buried her a few meters away from us. She had tribal marks. I cannot describe the agony of 6 days in captivity in this little piece. I cannot talk about how they asked my husband to choose between myself being raped or his daughter being raped. My husband broke down in uncontrollable tears. One of them hit him saying, "Yoruba bastard, you dey cry, idiot." They now gave him an option that he should be raped by one homosexual among them. My husband, a devout Muslim. My husband is a devout Muslim. He told them that homosexual and rape of any kind was against Islam. They hit him with a butt of AK-47. What do you know about Islam? You can imagine, you are being asked to choose between being raped by a homosexual, your daughter just 9 years old, or your wife being raped. They gave the fourth option. If you fail to choose one, we would rape your daughter, rape you, the man, and rape me, the wife. I made myself the sacrificial lamb. My husband begged, saying they should name any price. One of them asked him to bend down. 3 beastly criminals sat on his back, jumping until he was too weak to stand. I was not allowed to put on any additional clothes. Imagine they rape you all night and they stop you from putting on any clothes for 24 hours. The rain fell once. I became a relic at a sexual museum for the armed men, who in turn addressed me and asked questions about my financial standing. New Fulani men joined the camp. They organized military training for the new Fulani men that came, teaching them how to shoot and walk through circles of glowing fire. They were not released until after 6 days. We were not released until after 6 days. We had to walk the same zigzag journey back to the main road, our eyes blindfolded. During the negotiation to pay, they said the money was not for them alone, that they had to settle those who sent them. For me, I see a thriving organized crime supported by powerful political interests. Now, I do not think we were released to freedom after paying a whopping 8 million naira. I do not think we can ever be free. We can never be free from the anguish, the psychological trauma, the nightmares we suffered, the occasional fits of my daughter, her waking up at night behaving strangely, her asking the same question over and over, "Mommy,